The weight of decades settled on Jack's shoulders, a familiar ache. His life, he'd always believed, was a sturdy structure built on his family. Every decision, every sacrifice, had been for Lena and their daughters. Then came the day the ground trembled beneath him, not with an earthquake, but with the quiet tremor of a truth he'd unearthed on a security monitor. A seemingly insignificant detail cracked the veneer of his reality. No one could have predicted the chain reaction. He certainly hadn't, though in quiet corners, a sense of unease had been brewing. He'd been preparing, perhaps subconsciously, for a shift, though not this cataclysmic one. That night, the digital revelation felt like a silent explosion, one that ripped through not just his marriage, but 4 others. The fallout was unimaginable. Some decisions arrive with the dawn, as quiet as steam from coffee. That morning was one. As he sat at the kitchen table, Lena slept upstairs, her face deceptively peaceful. He knew better now. Behind that mask resided a life he was no longer part of. He hadn't suspected a thing at first. The farmhouse, a relic of his childhood, sat off his usual route. Checking the security system was routine. He'd idly scrolled through the footage when his thumb paused. A clip, a shared laugh, the clinking of wine glasses, and then her voice. "I think I'll pick the next one from Miami. Let's go for a little more excitement this time." The sentence pierced him. Something within him shattered. He didn't react outwardly. No scream, no hurled phone, no confrontation. He simply watched, a detached observer. He recorded the clip, and in that moment, a profound realization settled. It was time to dismantle his old story and begin writing a new one. He would never forget that day, his last Friday at work. As each executive shook his hand, a single thought echoed: "You never truly knew me." The early retirement papers, signed weeks ago, were now reality. The massive sum was cleared in a single day. $850,000, Lena's name absent from every document. A cold comfort. On his drive home, a country song played. He'd always dismissed the genre, but the lyrics resonated with newfound clarity. It spoke of a man dying, but Jack felt no kinship. He wasn't dying, he was being reborn. Lena was in the shower when he arrived. He opened his suitcase. One suit, a few t-shirts, his old red jacket. No photos, no keepsakes. He sorted through his clothes, discarding some, donating others. He leased a car under his uncle's name, paying in cash. A new phone, a new number, the first steps in his disappearance. He tossed his old ID into the trash, discarding not just plastic, but the identity it represented. The next morning, a short note. "I'll drop the company car off at the airport." A lie. The car was already gone. He didn't want suspicion, not yet. 2 days later, he stood in the farmhouse doorway. The smell of dust hung in the air, but beneath it, peace settled over him. The creaking wood, the wind, the old stove, it was as if the house had waited. This was where his transformation would begin. He was no longer Jack, the executive. He was simply a man who had quietly accumulated heartbreak and had finally decided to act. His daughters were part of his plan. He'd reached out to Ethan, Lauren's husband. Ethan had suspected Lena's weekend getaways. Jack played the clip. The raw emotion on Ethan's face spoke volumes. Finally, Ethan choked out, "This is going to destroy all of us." "No, Ethan," Jack corrected gently. "This is going to wake all of us up." Lena's 50th birthday approached. The party was set to be grand. Everyone would be there. The patio TV would play a different kind of entertainment that night. The real show was at 8 p.m. For Jack, it wouldn't be an ending, but a stark beginning. Every time he thought about it, his heart pounded. It wasn't just betrayal. It was years of repressed rage, ignored loneliness. He was ready to unleash it all. They had no idea. The real bombshell hadn't even been conceived. Sometimes, the things that shake you aren't sudden blows, but quiet realizations. Sitting at a table you prepared, facing the distorted reflection of your past. Lena's birthday arrived. The girls buzzed around. Ethan grilled. Champagne chilled. Hundreds of miles away, on the farmhouse porch, Jack sat with a remote control. When he pressed that button, he knew, irrevocably, no one's life would ever be the same. Lena arrived early, an expensive box hinting at her planned outfit. Who was she dressing for? Not him. Her makeup seemed to carry the weight of years. By 6, guests arrived, including Lena's boss, Eric Sanders, and his wife, Vanessa. The moment Lena saw Eric, A shadow crossed her face. Lauren whispered to her mother, I invited him. Your boss always speaks so highly of you, and his wife wanted to finally meet you. Lena nodded, her smile strained, but Jack saw the panic. Around 8, the girls took the stage. We have a little surprise for our mom, Emma announced. Even though Dad couldn't be here, he sent his messages. Lena sat proudly. Instead, her face filled the screen. Happy birthday, Lena, Jack said, his voice calm, a faint smile, but his eyes cold. Sad I couldn't be there, but I thought I'd drop in anyway, to remember the good old days. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Lena sat stiffly. This year, we held our first grandchild. Our youngest daughter got married. We were even planning our second honeymoon. But then something happened. He stared into the camera. I watched a video. Security footage. A conversation on our very own porch. The screen went black. Then, the footage began. Lena and the girls, wine glasses in hand, laughter. But the words betrayals. My husband still thinks I'm on a business trip. I stayed with the boss in Tahoe last month. 2 nights. Same hotel. I need to meet someone new soon. The current guy is getting boring. The men fidgeted. One son-in-law covered his face. Ethan gripped his chair. The only sound was the video. Then, Jack reappeared. What you just saw is real. I saw it too. Over and over. But then I thought, why should I be the only one who knows? A new video began. Eric and Lena, hand in hand in Vancouver. The same hotel room. The same bed. The same night. In someone else's marriage. Vanessa gasped, tears welling. Eric hung his head. Lena didn't move, frozen. No, she mouthed, but the footage didn't lie. Jack's face filled the screen. Lena, is this your birthday gift? A romantic getaway? Is Eric rewarding you for overtime? Or is this just his little fringe benefit? His words hit the room like bullets. Wives stopped looking at husbands. Husbands avoided eye contact. Tonight isn't just your night, Lena. Tonight is the night of truth. And to the husbands of my daughters, I think you should have a serious conversation with your wives. The video ended. Silence, then whispers, then rage. Vanessa hurled divorce papers at Eric. This night ends for you too, she spat, followed by a slap. Lena still sat there, her face empty. That night, 5 marriages ended. Some immediately, some slowly. None would ever be the same. Jack finished his tea, his gaze on the stars. This was only the beginning. When a marriage ends, remnants linger. But Jack had left without a trace, or so he thought. After the party, everything tied to Lena felt worthless. Yet, Vanessa Sanders' tear-filled eyes stayed in his mind. Fate had a cruel irony. Vanessa was Lena's boss's wife and Jack's divorce attorney, Rachel Miller's sister. The footage hadn't just ended Jack's marriage. It had shattered Rachel's too. The man in the video was her husband. The first time Rachel called, her voice trembled. Jack, she said, we're on the same side now. She'd been a divorce attorney for years, but this was different. They met in a quiet cafe. From the outside, ordinary, but inside, both teetering. Rachel laid out documents. Jack showed his withdrawal from marital assets. They looked at each other, a silent acknowledgement. 2 strangers, bound by betrayal. But for the first time, Jack felt a flicker of understanding. A week later, Rachel called. Your video brought me 3 new clients that night. 3 other women checked their husbands' phones. 3 more marriages unraveled. He hadn't just saved himself. Then came Lena's first move. She returned home, tried calling Jack, then the farmhouse. Nothing. She called Ethan, yelling, Your father is tearing this family apart. Ethan replied, You did that years ago, Lena. He just pressed play. Jack's meetings with Rachel became more frequent. Initially business, then coffee, then lunch. One evening, she came to the farmhouse. After dinner, they stepped onto the porch. The sky was full of stars. Rachel sat beside him. Jack, she said softly, I've never been with a real man before. He took her hand. That night, someone saw him, truly saw him. But Lena wasn't giving up. She'd hired a private investigator. Jack had planned for this, changing his name, number, address. Yet, one morning, a plain envelope arrived at Rachel's office. Emails, account activity, and a note from Lena. No matter where you hide, you're still my husband. Rachel and Jack exchanged a look. This wasn't just desperation, it was war. The next day, Ethan called, concerned. Lauren showed your video to the twins. They're crushed, especially Chloe. She said, I didn't even know my father. Jack's throat went dry. He hadn't expected this. For the first time, his daughters were seeing the truth. But even that wasn't the end. Rachel arrived with more news. Jack, Lena got fired. Eric too. They were using company funds. He laughed bitterly. Then Rachel's phone rang. It was Lena. Rachel held it out. She wants to speak with you. She still thinks you're her husband. Some people can't accept when they've lost. He shook his head. That night, Rachel asked, "Do you think you'll ever want to build a new life here?" He looked at her. "Do you have the courage for that?" "If it's with you," she replied. And in that moment, he realized he had been reborn. But the real story was far from over. Lena hadn't accepted defeat. Ghosts returned unexpectedly. 1 month after the party, Lauren called, hesitant. "Dad, can we talk?" "In person?" "Where?" They met the next morning in a hotel lobby. Lauren arrived with Ethan and his grandson, Colin. He had his mother's eyes. They went to a suite. Lauren burst into tears. "Dad, there's so much I need to say. But first, I owe you an apology. I never knew a version of you other than the one Mom showed us. You were stern, quiet. She always told us, your father doesn't care. He only thinks about work." And we believed her, because it was easier. Ethan lowered his head. Jack still hadn't spoken. "Then I watched that video," Lauren continued. "For the first time, I saw the truth. Mom used you, Dad, and we were her puppets." He took Colin. "Dad, he deserves a grandfather like you and I. I didn't even realize how much I was becoming her." Ethan said, "She told us a lot. Jack even tried to frame her relationship as some kind of open marriage." Jack nodded slowly. "I stayed quiet," he said. "But there was one truth that had to be heard. That's why I played the video." Lauren looked away. "I was seeing someone too. I thought you knew. But now I realize I was just following in Mom's footsteps. Fake freedom. Hollow courage." There was a knock. The twins, Emma and Chloe, stood there, their faces ashamed. "Dad, we need to talk," Emma said. Chloe kept her eyes down. They stepped inside. Chloe spoke first. "We blamed you. We believed her story. But when Lauren showed us the truth, we felt sick." Emma said, "We were going to confront you that night, but you kicked us out of the hotel." Chloe continued, "You're just versions of our mother. Everything you're doing, it's all a reflection of her." "We cried all night," said Emma. "And we made a decision. We're cutting her off." She pulled out a key. "We rented a new place." Lauren said, "Mom's still trying to find you." Jack smiled. "She doesn't need to look for me. I left a long time ago. Maybe my body just left now, but my soul, it disappeared from that house years ago." Chloe whispered, "Dad, forgive us." Jack nodded. "I already did. Because the fear of losing you, that's what made me so quiet." Emma asked, "What's Rachel like?" "She's honest," he said. "No lies." Emma smiled. "I hope you don't lose her too." Chloe handed him a letter. "This is from Mom." Jack looked at it, but didn't open it. "Sometimes silence is the clearest answer," he said, and burned the letter. The girls watched. They understood. Some doors stay closed forever. Some endings aren't really the end. He was on the farmhouse porch with Rachel, lemonade in hand. The new house was complete. The twins had started reaching out. Lauren brought Colin weekly. Rachel was 4 months pregnant. They didn't know the gender. Life had a different surprise. That morning, Rachel had a checkup. Jack stayed home. Then his phone rang, an unfamiliar number. "Jack Turner." "Yes. There's someone here asking to see you." "Lena Turner." He froze. 2 hours later, the sheriff's office. Lena sat behind glass, disheveled, trembling. The sheriff said, "She called us. Requested protection." The door opened. Lena stood, tears pouring down her face. "Jack, I made a mistake. I didn't just lose you. I lost everyone. But this is bigger than me." He narrowed his eyes. She pulled out a photo of Rachel, smiling, but in the background, a shadow. Lena stammered, "That man. Rachel's ex-husband, Eric. He's still in touch with her. And the baby." "What baby?" Lena locked eyes with him. "The child Rachel is carrying, it's not yours." The world fell silent. "No," Jack said. "You want revenge?" Lena shook her head. After the video, Eric tried to get back with Rachel. She said no at first. But later, Jack. I read the emails. Vancouver, same city, same hotel, same betrayal. He looked at Rachel. "Tell me," he said. She paused, tears filling her eyes. "At first, I wasn't going to tell you, but yes. One night, Eric found me. It was a weak moment. He said, 'We can get through this together.' And I I made a mistake, Jack. The baby isn't his. She nodded. It all crashed down. The collapse of 2 marriages. Years of pain. He started laughing, a broken sound. I thought you'd understand, Rachel said. We were both cheated on. I was just so alone. He turned to the door. Jack, please don't leave. At the threshold, he spoke without turning back. I lived in a lie for years, Rachel. And I thought I'd finally found something real. But even that belonged to someone else. He walked out. The next morning, he left the farmhouse. No notes. Just an empty photo frame on the porch table. No picture inside, because no story was ever that clear anymore. And him? He was just a man now,